Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with SBS personality and the owner of Football Reporters, managing partner of Football Reporters Online, Bill Chackhes. Bill, let's cut to the chase. Who had the best 2008 NFL draft so
Well,
far?
we're not finished yet, but obviously so far, a lot of us here are in agreement that the Kansas City Chiefs have basically cleaned up like they're playing Texas Hold'em in Las Vegas. They went in, with Carl Peterson went in with a gambling streak, and he came out with everybody he needed. He got Glenn Dorsey with the first pick, he got Brandon Albert with the first pick of the second round, and then he got Brandon Flowers with the second pick of the second round. And that's just day one, and they're continuing to go to work here on day two. They are restocking the team for Herman Edwards so he could continue to play to win the game.
What makes a good draft?
I think when you're really looking at it's obviously it's more than just best player available. You've got to plug in a need. You've got to decide three or four primary needs. You've got to plug in which need you can get when your number comes up. If you're picking seventh like the Patriots did this year and you don't see your guy, you've got to pull the trigger on a trade to trade down and get more value from picks lower down that are going to fill needs lower in the draft at less of a hit on your budget, a hit on your salary cap. The Giants had the 31st pick, and they picked this kid Phillips. He's a really good defensive back. He could bulk up and play strong safety. It escapes me at the moment, but we'll definitely get to it later. When you look at different drafts and you say who did really well and who did poorly, Philadelphia, they didn't have a horrible draft, but
you don't like Deshaun Jackson?
I think Deshaun Jackson's a great player, but he's a smallish guy. He's a return specialist. He's not a starting receiver. He's a slot receiver. And then again, we have the dreaded words and quotations, character issues. So, I mean, when he's...
But it seems like every team, at least last year, I remember, several teams, the Miami Dolphins, when they picked Ted Ginn Jr., we're looking for a Devin Hester type of player. Isn't Deshaun Jackson that kind of player?
No, and there aren't any more Devin Hesters. Devin Hester is Devin Hester. There's nobody else. Deshaun Jackson is Deshaun Jackson. He could do a lot of the things that Devin Hester does for you if he's given the chance. Not as well, or not as fast, or not as strong, but he's there. He's a guy who can be a good return man for you, but he's not going to do everything that Devin Hester does. Now, let's look at the last pick by the Broncos just now in the 6th round. Okay, the Broncos took Spencer Lawson, the linebacker from Arizona.
Good choice.
It's a good choice for a 6th round choice.
Yeah.
This is a guy who should have gone in the 3rd or 4th round.
A lot
of that is going on, especially this year, because the draft has a new format. There's 5 rounds on the second day and only 2 rounds on the first day. It's moving around much faster. When I spoke to the commissioner earlier, I asked him, I said, Commissioner Goodell, do you feel that the new format is helping teams or hindering teams? And his answer was, it's not just helping teams. The main thing here is that the fans get to enjoy the draft as an event. Are we helping the teams? Yes, we're helping the teams. By shortening the format, 10 minutes of the first pick, 7 minutes of the second pick, and down to 5 minutes on the third pick. Everybody should really know who they're picking from the 3rd round on. You have guys that you're paying, personnel people that you're paying to sit in a war room, and I'm just talking about director of scouting, director of personnel. I'm talking about people working in the personnel department, scouts, that their job on draft day is to sit in the war room and cross guys off the board as they go to other teams. And if you're not paying attention to that and who the best player available is on the board when your number comes up, then you're not doing your job as a scouting department.
Bill, we'll be coming back to you. Thank you.
Okay.
Right.